What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Street Fighter Duel video. Alright guys, we're going to be jumping on another showcase, and I did a piece yesterday regarding the worst faction in the game, Thunder versus Flame. We all know Wind is not in that equation whatsoever. I did mention that in my belief that Thunder unfortunately is the most lacking, but I do admit, and I have admitted many times, that they have the best tanks in the game, and that's where I want to go to next. I want to talk about a showcase, one of the best tanks in the game for sure, hands down, and that's going to be, we've done Zangief already, so you know it's not going to be him. It's going to be E Honda, okay? So I have a SSS+4 E Honda, and I think that E Honda is probably one of the, if not the best tanks out of the three major ones. That's going to be Zangief, E Honda, and Abel. If it wasn't for Bison being in the game, I think E Honda would probably take precedence, or Zangief would take precedence as the best tanks for sure for frontline damage soaking. So let's talk about E Honda and everything that he has. So let's start off with what he represents. So as mentioned, he's Thunder faction. He is a power unit. He's a tank, and of course he has the wrestling style, which is plus 100. I'm surprised they don't have sumo in here, but I guess wrestling and sumo are kind of the same thing, just different cultures. Alright, so let's get into the garage first and talk about his passive in his garage. So his 3-car passive is upon entering a battle, a bullet wall is created blocking up to 5 ranged attacks, last 12 seconds. Now this is actually pretty good against units such as Guile, who's a range unit, Dalsim, who's a range unit, etc. Right? So anyone who does range damage, E Honda is there pretty much to stop it from going through for at least 5 attacks. Now, his 6 of 6 cars is way more important. When Desperation triggers, it creates a bullet wall that blocks up to 5 range attacks, last 12 seconds. So not only do you get it in the beginning of the battle with his 3, but whenever Desperation pops, which you'll see shortly when that happens, you get yourself another bullet wall, helping you against a lot of ranged units. And let me tell you, when you're fighting PvE, range units are aplenty. So you're going to need this for sure if you want to maximize his tanking abilities, okay? Let's move on to his skills real quick and talk about his passive. So E Honda gains Desperation when his HP is less than 20%, trigger intervals every 30 seconds. So having him with a healer is going to be actually fairly key here, or at least an interrupt where you can give him that 30-second reprieve so he can re-trigger this again, okay? But as you level it up, the Desperation is now for 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds and increases the damage resist provided with Desperation by 50%, and then it's triggered when HP is 30% rather than 20% in the 16-second interval. So you can see here, way better. And Desperation again increases damage resistance by 30%, but 50 when you get it to level 3. And then also gives you 30% HP when it triggers rather than 20 and 16 seconds. So absolutely critical to his kit, and you definitely want that, okay? Now let's go through his actual skills. So Orochi Slammer grabs hold of the nearest target, strikes it 3 times, dealing damage equal to 546%, and also does damage sharing for 10 seconds. And we'll talk about that shortly, okay? Damage sharing boosts the entire team's damage resistant rate by 30%, which is the best form of defense in the game. So defense is first, as in like the worst, then it's going to be elemental resistance, and then damage resistance is the best. So damage resistance is resistance to all forms of damage, defense or not. The only thing that affects it is damage, is the actual damage stat itself rather than attack, right? Extended damage sharing to 16 seconds rather than 10 seconds, and then damage sharing, 30% of damage received is shared by E Honda. So very important against cleave teams, guys. Anyone who uses a lot of AoE teams in Arena, for example, E Honda is going to be a crux for you, because all the damage you try to do on the other opponents who are behind him, mostly the damage dealers, he's going to share a lot of the grunt of that damage and take it back himself. So really powerful tanking ability, and a great one to use, especially when you're fighting AoE teams. All right, skill 1. Headbutt the nearest target 2 times, dealing damage to 297. The big thing here is not the damage, though, it's the actual stun that he does for 3 seconds. Each strike has a 50% chance to stun the target for 3 seconds, which is very high. So keep that in mind. So give me a sec here, guys. Sorry. Let me put this down. Okay, and then you see here level 2, while a target is successfully stunned, the target's defense is reduced by 40%, which is huge, right? Because now you're doing more damage on that unit. And then chance of self-inflicting stun is reduced to 50%. So he unfortunately does have a chance to stun himself. When he does the headbutt, obviously the head gets a little spinny, but this is reducing it by 50% as well too. And then skill 3, strike the nearest target with consecutive hits, dealing damage of 586. Also triggers a bullet wall that lasts 8 seconds and can block up to 5 ranged attacks. Duration becomes 12 seconds and 8, and then it blocks 8 instead of 5. So again, a very good tanking solution for ranged units. As you can see here, he is the full package when it comes down to being a tank, and this is why by many he's considered the best tank in the game. Okay. Let's talk about his best fighting soul. His best fighting soul is going to be either Echo for better healing with his Desperation. You'll see why shortly, because he does have a self-heal with his FS. So this is a good one to kind of give him a little bit more healing, and also does 8-second intervals, so it's not too long. Or you can use yourself this one here, which is going to be called Reckless. And this one actually does damage back to the opponent based on his defense, up to 500% of his defense. So that's actually a really good one for him as well too. And then if you need a little bit more of survival, you can also do the War Dance. After the battle begins, the friendly unit with the lowest HP is inspired every 10 seconds, recovering HP. So this also could really help here, because he's going to have the lowest HP percentage, right? So those three are going to probably his best ones. And in terms of his FS, let's talk about it here. Almighty Yokozuna, skill becomes Sumo Restless. So this is what I was referring to. Restores 2% of max HP every second while Desperation is active. His assist skill takes effect when the fighter is in assist position. He absorbs 8% of damage dealt to all fighters and is transferred to Honda. So one of the best tanking assist, period. Okay, I haven't had a chance to level up the rest of them, but I will. Restores 3% of max HP every 10 seconds while Desperation is active. Duration of Desperation extended to 3 seconds rather than 2. And then when Desperation triggers, if Honda's in a damage sharing status, then other teammates will also get the same effect. So if he does a special and he's in desperation mode, then everybody gets the healing that he provides. So very, very good. Absolutely required. At least up to 20. 30 is not necessary for him. That's just a bonus of healing, but you don't need that really. So at least at 20, you do want to definitely push him to, okay? So let's kind of go into a quick battle here and show you guys. Let's just do arena. I mean, at least I can show you guys what he's all about in terms of damage sharing, and you guys can get an idea here. So this is going to be a little bit of an unfair fight, unfortunately, but we're going to do our best here to at least showcase what he's all about. This person actually does have a range unit in Rose, so that's good. So we'll just do Honda here. We'll give him Zangief. Oh, no, actually, you know what? We'll give him Abel as a shield, as an assist, okay? And then I'll just throw in like Bizang. I'll just throw in some smaller units here for you guys to kind of see, okay? Without doing like the full OP units that I normally would use. Let's go with a healer for this one. And then up here, for Chun-Li, we can give her, let's give her Guile. Oh, sorry, Guile up here. And then Elena here. Okay, let's just do a combo here. So you guys can kind of see some of these combos and how they work out. So we'll give him a healer, AoE, and we'll just do the single one here, okay? So you guys can see the bullet wall and everything else that pops up. So here we go. I'll slow this down a little bit so you guys can kind of watch the match and see some of the buffs that pop. Now, I don't know if he's going to go down to 30% to see Desperation, but we can do that in a PvE match if you need to see that, okay? So there's a shield from Abel on him. So you can see he has bullet wall. That's like that little shield icon that he saw earlier. There it is right there. Let's see if he pops it again. Yeah, this is gonna be too easy. I'll do it on there's it right there, bullet wall again. It looks like a little shield icon. I'll go ahead and fight a PvE match, guys. I think because I'll actually die in the PvE match, but you can at least see how Desperation procs and what it does. I'm sure you guys have all fought E Honda before, so you guys are aware of how OP Desperation can be when you're fighting against the NPC, but at least in this case, you guys can get an idea how it feels like to be on the other side. So there's two E Hondas here. There's my E Honda and there's his E Honda, okay? So let's go to Thunder. Where's Honda? I think he's actually being damage shared right now. Currently, he's a tank somewhere else. There he is. I'm going to switch him up a little bit. Actually, you know what? We'll just switch up the team. Easier that way. There. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this fight. I'll do E Honda. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. Actually, you know what? I'll switch this to this. Just again, so you guys can kind of see how he functions, all right? Mainly, I want to show you guys Desperation and how it works. So we'll just do auto here. Oh, wait. It didn't switch. My fault. What's that, guys? Sorry. It actually didn't switch the teams around. Let's do that again. I want this to be first. Save. There. Okay. Do it again. So here. Watch this. Now I'm fighting another Honda, obviously. So you can see there's the bullet wall right there. There's two of them. You can see it's up right there. There's a shield, obviously. So there's another bullet wall right there. And he does it one more time. Okay, and so you can see here, Desperation is going to pop soon, okay? Just keep watching. You'll see the moment he gets down, there it is right there. So he didn't die. Instead, he popped Desperation. It's a sumo icon right there. So he'll be healing a little bit from that, right? 2% of healing. You see his healing is going up, but it takes 16 seconds to reproc. So this is where it's actually very important to do either stuns or it's important to heal him back up so he can reproc Desperation every 16 seconds. If you can manage, there it is again right there, right? If you can manage that, right? He doesn't die. He just continues to tank and take damage. So watch, let's see if we can do this again. I think it's past there. He's dead this time. Yeah, so he died that time. So you saw there, he procced it twice though, right? So with the proper healer or the proper interrupt setup, E Honda literally is invincible. Like, you cannot kill him. So if you're lacking tanks, guys, and you're looking for a tank to build, E Honda should be the #1 tank you're looking for, because he literally can become invincible if he's set up with the right team and the right setup. And if Bison didn't exist, I would say E Honda would be the best frontline tanking unit in the game. All right, guys, this is Payne. I hope you enjoyed the showcase. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.